Athearn and Walthers. In recent years, these were your two choices for 5-unit well cars. But now we've got a third member to that group of 5-unit well cars. And this is going to be our quickie review. It's the ScaleTrains.com Rivet Counter Backpacker 5-unit well cars. And this is the car we're going to be reviewing. And also, we'll compare it to these Athearn and Walthers models as well. So, I can't wait to review this, and I know you guys can't wait to see them either. So, hang on just a second. We'll unbox them, set them on the track, and review them. So, hang on. Okay, now we got these this 5-unit well car unpackaged now, and my goodness, this thing has a ton of details. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the review of this car. Of course, this is a rivet counter car, which means it's going to have all the wealth of details and whatnot. We got train line hose. Let me turn that light on and see if it'll help. Whoa, boy, that made things really bright. Okay, let's try that now. You can see the wealth of details here. We got your train line hoses. I don't know if you can see that right there. Underneath, we got a couple of cut levers right here. A lot of detail up here inside the well. You can see all the piping and stuff. And, you know, when you compare it to the Athearn model, now this particular Athearn 5-unit car is about 7 years old or so. So this is by far not a new car, but still you can see the difference in the detail. Even though there is some piping right here on this Athearn model, there's a lot more detail on this ScaleTrains. Of course, you're talking about a ready-to-roll car versus a full-on rivet counter, so you're obviously going to see some differences in the details. But I mean, just look at the details that's here. You got the lower shelf Type E coupler right here. Of course, you can see the air hose right there. As I mentioned, the couple of cut levers. And also look at the truck detail right here. Very, very nice. And of course, all rivet counter cars, they come with a with roller bearing trucks with functioning bearing caps. You can see them rotating right there. And of course, you get a little baggie right here. Of course, this also comes with some extra detail parts as well as the spare bearing caps. So, yeah, that's pretty neat. Of course, you got your documentation right here. And those extra parts, if I can look it up right here, I don't know if you can read it or not, but it comes with those little parts that come in that baggie were IBC details for loading in IBC holder boxes on the car deck. So you basically just add those onto the car if you so desire. I probably won't do that. But I'll probably just run the car as is. But I'll go ahead and keep them anyway. But let's kind of go through a tour of this car. And because it's a 5-unit car, it is a long freight car. So here we go. We're going to try and go through all the really heavily detailed, very nicely detailed car. And one other neat thing, like the Walthers car, the ScaleTrains uses a die-cast metal body. That's really big. I like the fact they went this route with the die-cast body because it does add some durability to this car. Now, granted, with all the details, you still have to be careful handling this particular car so you don't damage the fine details that are attached on it. So, but anyway, we'll go through here. you can see all the nice printing and decaling right here. It's all readable. Even the smallest printing is readable under magnification. Of course, you have the K-Line logo along with the TTX logo. Really, really nicely done. This car, according to the documentation, this would represent a car from its inception in 1987 to about 2008, I believe, is the time frame this car represents. But these cars are actually still in existence now. They've just been repainted and done up a little different. Anyway, that being said, we'll go down here. This is, of course, the AN. You see the little A marked right there, the AN, and how these cars would go together. You have the A, but then you come over here and you have the E well. So your A end's right here and your B end is way off down there. So how it would go, you would have a and then B on that end, and then C, D, and then this well right here, E, sorry. Anyway, just so I kind of throw that little bit in there so you kind of know the orientation of these cars if you're not familiar with how they go together. But as we continue through the look at this car, again, very nicely done detailing right here. You can see the printing on the trucks even. Looks really, really good. You got your little steps there, right there. More intricate piping. And these cars basically go together similar to the Walthers and Athearn car. There's really not that much difference in how they go together. Like I said, the one thing you probably will have to watch, you may have to be a little more careful assembling this car because of some of the small fine details that's present that aren't really present on the Athearn or Walthers model. So anyway, we'll continue on here. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little interruption there for a minute. But anyway, I believe we was here at the E deck, or E well on this car. Again, like I said, just like the A well here, very nicely done. Come over here to the middle part of this car. Again, a lot of nice details. And one thing you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is little air hoses right there that connect these middle decks. Very cool feature. I like that a lot. You know, I know they don't really touch on here, but I mean, if you move it in like that, you could probably. It does look like they're connected, but that's a really, really nice feature on this car. Pretty cool there. And of course, we'll come down through here. Again, nice grab irons and whatnot right there. All very nicely done right there. They will take some handling, but I would still be very careful with them because they are such highly detailed pieces. You probably could break them off, but that's true with any well car. That part of them is usually pretty fragile. So anyway, we'll come down here to this middle deck. A lot of cool details right here. This brake cylinder, air cylinder, or air reservoir right here. More piping right there. Very nice. And one other thing right there is how you can see how they go together right there. Basically almost identical to how the Walthers cars go together. See, like that. And you basically just line them up and drop them down over that pin there, and it holds them in place pretty good. So so there's that. And then we'll come down here to the C well. Again, very nice decaling and details. So more of the same. Got more air hoses connecting right there. And then we'll come all the way back here to the last well. This one right here. And again, lots of nice piping and detailing. You got your brake wheel right there. Very, very nice car. And of course, you got your Scaletrain Z coupler, drop shelf, more coupler cut levers, brake hose. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of room to move around on this layout, so I can't really show it to you like a lot of other people that do reviews on these freight cars and locomotives and whatnot. So, but I'm just trying to give you guys a kind of a basic overview of what this car looks like. As true with all Scaletrain's rivet counter stuff, these are very nice, highly detailed cars. A lot of really cool features on them. I mean, really like the rotating bearing caps on them. That's just such a neat thing on these cars. So, yeah, I mean, really, really cool car. So, I just want to give you guys a quick little look at this car. Being so nice and highly detailed. Of course, there's an overview of it. And then, of course, you just put, like the Walthers and Athearn cars, you just basically put your containers inside there. And one other thing I forgot to mention, look at that, etched metal platforms. That's really nice. I kind of overlooked that, but that is such a nice feature. Just the etched metal platforms that on top of these cars. Really, really cool. So anyway, that'll kind of give you guys a quick look at this car. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of show you the other two manufacturers of 5-unit well cars, and kind of compare them side by side with this Scaletrain's model. Of course, in the middle we have the Athearn Ready to Roll 5-unit car. This is actually the Maxi 3 well car, and then of course on the inner loop here is the Walthers 5-unit Thrall 40-foot. Let's try that again. The Thrall 40-foot rebuilt 5-unit well cars from Walthers mainline. And one thing you'll notice is that the Walthers car, notice how much shorter it is than the other two cars. In fact, the Athearn car is by far the longest car as far as the 5-unit well cars that's sitting here now are concerned. But you know, another thing you'll notice, each one of these sets is 3 different lengths, so kind of bear that in mind. But one thing we'll take a look at, you know, the Athearn car in the middle here, it has a plastic body. That doesn't make it as durable as these two cars that have the metal bodies as far as that's concerned. However, it does make the Athearn car the lightest of the 3 models here. Not by much, but it does make it a little bit lighter, and therefore it's a little easier on the locomotives to pull. Plus, these Athearn cars, they roll pretty good. I mean, Athearn cars are pretty well known for being free-rolling cars. And the Scaletrain's car, I mean, while it doesn't roll as freely as the Athearn cars, it still rolls really, really well. You know, that could be a lot of factors. As far as the Scaletrains, it could be the fact that it actually has functioning bearing caps that could create a little drag on it. The car itself being metal body could contribute to it not being as free-rolling. However, the Walthers car, it rolls pretty good too, about like the Scaletrain's car, but it too is metal body like the Scaletrain's car, so that could have an effect on how well they roll. You know, like I said, there could be a lot of little factors factoring in there, but now as we take a look at the Walthers car on the inside loop, it's not a heavily detailed car either. It's part of the Walthers mainline series. It's kind of the in-between of the Trainline and the Walthers Proto. Kind of similar to the Athearn Ready to Roll, this car here in the middle. They're kind of the in-between cars of their highly detailed brands and whatnot. What this another thing that makes a Scale-Trains car so unique is that it's probably the first highly detailed, and when I say highly detailed, I mean really highly detailed, with the brake hoses, the Trainline hoses, you know, the coupler cut levers, rotating bearing caps, and et cetera, and I could just go on and on. This is probably the first well car across the board, no matter who's made them in the past, that's done to this level that I can know of. And if somebody out there says different, feel free to correct me. But I don't know of anyone that's ever done a car detailed to this level until Scale-Trains come out with theirs. As I mentioned, I tried to buy these direct from Scale-Trains. However, I couldn't do it at the time. They sold out really quickly. I got lucky and found this 5-unit set on Yankee Dabbler. So I ordered it. And my goodness, what an amazing car. And they're all good in their own right. The Walthers cars, as many as you know, I have a affinity for these cars for their durability. Probably of the three, the Walthers car is probably the most durable car of the three. It's also probably the most cost effective. I know I was looking at Midwest, and now they have them on sale for like $88 for a 5-unit car. I mean, that's pretty good. But if somebody had to pin me down and say, okay, bang for your buck, I would say it would be a really tight race between the Walthers car and the Scale-Trains car for bang for your buck. Get the most for your money car. I might even be willing to put the Scale-Trains car a tick ahead of the Walthers car, just simply because of the level of detail that's on this car compared to the Walthers car. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like the Walthers car. I'm kind of a less is more guy when it comes to running trains and whatnot. Less details is less risky, and all that. So I won't go on that little spiel again. But if I just had to say for bang for your buck, I mean, I think the Scale-Trains car sells for roughly $140. So, yeah, I mean, I think the Walthers car, they sell theirs for like $115 on the Walthers side. Like I say, you can get them a little cheaper at Midwest, I think, or quite a bit cheaper from Midwest. So, honestly, the Scale-Trains car, what you get, let me see if I can explain this right. For what you get for what you pay, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure if you can beat this car or not. Even Walthers, for as great as their cars are, I mean, they're pretty much the king of intermodal. William K. Walthers is, and for a lot of reasons, they probably have the widest selection of well cars of anyone, and containers. But I'm telling you what, for Scale Train's first crack at doing an intermold car, and on top of that, a 5-unit car, I mean, they really nailed it. I mean, for this being their first car, I mean, they really put the wow factor into it. I mean, this is quite a car. While I'm at it, let's, because I didn't really explain that well between the three. The Scale Train's car, when you buy it, it comes with their in-house branded couplers. Of course, the Scale Train's rivet counter coupler right there. The Athearn car, even though you see it has KDs on it, and so does this car, I think. Nope, it's still got stock couplers. But you notice the Athearn car has KDs. That's not what they originally come with. They come with the McHenry couplers. And if you go back through my videos, you'll know my thoughts on them. So I won't get into that. But the Walthers car here comes with their in-house brand, the Pro Max couplers. They're pretty good couplers. They're not KDs, but they're still a very, very solid coupler. So anyway, you know, I don't really know what else to say on this car. You know, looking at the three cars together, I would say, for bang for your buck, I would say it's a real close race right now between Scale Trains and Walthers in terms of what you get for the money. Like I said, I think Scale Trains may have just, in their first up to bat, may have just leapt over Walthers as far as bang for the buck. But, you know, if this is what they're coming out with and they're just getting started with intermold, my goodness, what are they going to be like 5 or 10 years down the road? But yeah, you know, so, and, you know, like I said, you know, if you're buying well cars, if I can make a suggestion, I'm not saying don't buy the Athearns, because they're good in their own right. They do have very free-rolling cars. You can tack a lot of them behind a locomotive. That's one of their big advantages. So I'm not saying don't buy Athearn, because they have for a plastic body car, theirs is a good car too. They're a little pricey for being that. They're quite a bit higher than the Walthers and even the Scale Trains model you see here, but you know, still, you know, I wouldn't just haul off and say don't ever buy an Athearn car, but you know, just looking at these three cars side by side, I would say the two big players right now as it stands is Scale Trains and Walthers here on the inside loop. And like I said, this is Scale Train's first intermold car. And like I said, what are they going to be like, you know, just a few years down the road when they, who knows, maybe they'll release a TOFC car or Morwell cars or who knows what. They have made their presence known. So, I'll roll this car around, try to, hopefully without destroying it. Because that would not make me happy at this point. But let's see if I can get a shot of that other end, because I don't think I got a very good shot at it. But anyway, there's the other end right there. You can see all the details right there. But anyway, that'll take a look at this very nice ScaleTrains.com rivet counter well car. And of course, we lined it up beside the two other manufacturers, Walthers and Athearn. why don't you get a look at them? Maybe this will help you guys make a decision on what cars to get. You know, and you know, who knows? Maybe we'll see a lot of great things, not just from Scale Trains, but also from Athearn. And, you know, Walthers continues to pump out outstanding well cars. So I think this will be a really bright future for people who love running intermodal trains. But anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.